When I got through working yesterday, I sort of just left things laying about here and there, and got up this morning. It was raining pretty sincerely, so all of my junk is still out here. I got stuff in the back of here, jacks and blocks and this and that and stuff out here. We want to run over to Trish's house, pick up some stuff over there from out of her barn, and so I ought to unload the truck, get all this stuff inside. It shouldn't be out here in the rain anyway, but that's what I thought I'd do. It's rain's kind of knocked off. We went to church this morning and weather sort of settled down, so maybe we get a few things done around here. We'll see. Alrighty then, we went over to Honey Baby's house, and she had this blanket chest in her big old barn that she's had forever. And I got looking at it, and this is a primitive, what we used to call primitive when I worked in the antique shop, meaning that it's a very old piece of furniture. It's put together with square cut nails. You see that? And all these edges, all these pieces are hand worked. You can see the marks here where they worked that with like a rasping file, some kind of saw. You see how imperfect all these little marks are where they made these fancy little legs. Most of the primitives that I ever saw didn't have work that was this fancy on it, so that's actually a pretty neat thing. Also, the drawers, if you look, these are hand mortised. See how these are kind of square cut, and these are different size, and they're kind of angle cut. And the interesting thing about this, and also down in here, you can see where these pieces of lumber were sawn with a kind of a big back and forth crosscut saw here. You can see the marks on them. But the front of these drawers are kind of interesting because it looks like they got this little ridge along on them. It looks almost like they were worked with a machine, which is, I don't know if somebody did this later in the life of this piece of furniture, or if they actually did that by hand. It's hard to imagine they could have made, you know, a groove in that as perfect as that is. But anyway, look at it. It's a real nice piece of furniture. It's very old, and it's probably worth a good bit. And so we drug it out of the barn, brought it home. I'm re-gluing this leg that was broke off, and gonna go upstairs and put a piece of trim in the upstairs room up there, and then she's gonna move it upstairs, and that's gonna be what is it gonna be? A blanket chest or something else?
Blanket chest.
It's gonna be a blanket chest for our house.
Oh.
Cool stuff, Honey Baby. Cool stuff. Oh, I'll show you this too. This is kind of cool. If you look at the back of these legs, I don't know if you can see, but these are done with like a cutting knife or a carving knife, or a, you know, this is all hand done. There's no machine work in these corners and things where they're made. Just cool stuff. Just cool stuff. You can really see it.
It's rough.
You can really see it right in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't carve.
For its day, man, these things were made way back before people had much in the way of machinery. So, boy, somebody put some nice work into that for its age. Most of the primitive pieces I ever saw looked like really primitive. Looked like somebody nailed them together out of what they could drag out of a burn pile.